we're going to be going into a best of 3 between herO here in the top left, spawning as our red Protoss player, and in the bottom right as our blue Terran playing for the Shopify Rebellion. It is ByuN, world's greatest Terran player that plays for Shopify. Ooh, herO with a proxy gate over here. Now that is fun to watch actually. And this is something that I've been wondering about for quite a... Hello? Are we building it? There we go. This is something that I've been wondering about for quite a while. ByuN legitimately never scouts. And I'm not saying that he never scouts and then he scouts like 10% of the time. No, he never scouts. He just doesn't care. But whenever I see him play against a single proxy gate, some other type of proxy gate, he just kind of tends to hold. He just survives. He doesn't really seem to have any issues with it. Skip the Marine here, by the way, for a slightly faster command center. So he waited with that Marine, then went command center. The reason why he can get away with that is because he wants to play factory before reactor. So you're not actually delaying anything after the Marine. And it doesn't matter if the Marine pops out at 146 or if the Marine pops out at 156. And those 10 seconds don't really make much of a difference. Now, in my opinion, this is the worst possible build order opener that ByuN could have gone for against the particular opener that herO is playing here. The worst case scenario by a pretty decent margin. This is not a wall, is it? Is it? Is this a wall? Doesn't seem real. Does not seem real. Anyway, let's take a look at how our good friend ByuN is going to try and maneuver himself out of here. He's going to lose his first Marine practically for free. Well, not practically for free. Really just for free. This CC is under some heavy fire right now. There's still about 7 seconds after this SCV dies of building time on this thing. As we see, the Stalker is dealing quite some damage. SCV staying alive. Okay, CC is going to finish up bunkers on the way on the high ground. And we rushed straight into attack lab over here. So Cyclone is on the way as well. Rather than going for a mine for safety or going for a Hellion for maybe a little bit of added DPS. Instead, we do have that Cyclone. Oh, bunker does not finish up yet. 4 SCVs have gone down. And this orbital has finished. Now, let's take a look at this situation. What has really happened here? What has really happened here? 23 workers for herO, but his Nexus is significantly later. Tech-wise, he's a little bit behind as well, but unit-wise, he's doing pretty okay. There's going to be about 5 to 6 gateway units soon. Tank is now out. High ground vision with the Adept managed to take out that depot. Oh, there we go. Adept will get blasted. And we have a starboard on the way. We have an orbital morphing in as well. I'm too unfamiliar with this particular setup to be capable of saying, hey, X is ahead or Y is ahead here. If I look at the situation, this feels bad for ByuN because it seems difficult for him to move down this ramp. He's going to have late extra barracks and there's already charge on the way. But at the same time, the eco for herO is fairly mediocre, really. It's just fairly mediocre. Raven is going to deal with Dark Shrine, that is the follow-up. herO really pulling out all the stops here, saying, hey, you know what's fun? Proxy gate. You know what's also fun afterwards is DTs. You know what's even more fun is a charge slot on in with DTs afterwards. They could just cancel the gate here to throw down a robotics facility. herO not entirely sure how he wants to play this out. It's going to be Cloak, by the way. It's going to be Cloak. Is that because he scouted something? No. Yeah, so it's just... Oh my god, you can't be serious. This is such a huge scout. I wonder if he saw that. I mean, he can just go back into his vision what he saw, and he sees that something is being researched here. Double batteries go down immediately. What a brilliant little call here. Charge is the follow-up. 5 Stalkers are out. High ground tank is providing quite a little bit of assistance here to those low ground Marines. But I'm having trouble seeing how ByuN is going to try and get back into this game. Is trying to get a little bit of momentum on his side, because that's what he's really lacking right now. He has a single scan as the first DT walks by. Raises the depot just in time. Raises the depot just in time. Do we have an eBay ready? There's no eBay ready quite yet. This DT is going to end up falling. This eBay will get constructed here immediately as SCVs get pulled towards the high ground. Next scan is about 25-26 seconds away. Observer together with these Stalkers is going to be enough to deal with this. This depot will end up falling. We have another Dark Templar being warped in here. As a Raven is going to be the follow-up, and double Banshees will head towards the main. Now that could be annoying because herO probably believes that he's safe in the main currently. He has his battery there. Double Banshees can burst through that battery healing though. The one-shot probes. It's a pretty big deal usually. Pre-Cloaks as well does not want to shoot this bad boy. It's very important he doesn't go for it. At the same time, 2 base all in, really starting at this point. Well, is it a 2 base all in? Some 2 base heavy aggression. Okay, here comes the double Banshee. 6-7 workers here would be fantastic. Misses 1 shot. Filled his stutter stepping there. Oh, he's getting 6-7 workers for sure. He's gonna go up to 8, perhaps even 9 if he wanted to, but he prefers keeping the Banshees alive. So he runs out with the Banshees, taking out 8 workers. And that was a pretty big deal, especially given that herO is on a low amount of bases, making it difficult to reproduce these workers at a very high pace. And losing these bad boys, that is definitely going to suck. The follow-up tech here is going to be a Templar Archives. We do not have Blink yet. 6 minutes and 50 seconds into the game, and all we have is Charge. Not a single Zealot has been built. I really do believe that herO was preparing to defend some type of 1-1-1 push, and now realizes he's going to be set up for what's essentially just going to be a fairly standard mid-game, except everything has just been delayed by 3 minutes or so. Like, this first push is going to be hitting... well, actually, what is it going to be? What timing are we going to hit? It's going to hit like 8:10, 8:20. So yeah, a solid 2 minutes too late. It's going to be with an amount of supply that would be appropriate as well for about, well, 2 minutes ago. Storm is now researching. The gateway count for herO is at 6. Is that enough? I don't actually know if that is enough. I feel like if you're getting high Templar and Zealots, you at least want to have 8. If you're going up to a higher worker count here, maybe you even need 10. herO is a player that likes to skip forges. I'm curious to see how that's going to work out here. Templar upgrade is still a little bit away from finishing up with about 12 seconds or so. Double Banshees trying to get back in towards this base. The Observer chases them. This is a pure Marine army, by the way, so high Templars are actually going to be extremely useful here. Anti-armor missile gets used. ByuN just... what? He just clumped up all of his Marines and didn't give a crap. I guess he clicked and there was probably only a single storm available. He was like, I think I can tank that. Now, he couldn't entirely, but he was pretty close to tanking that. A couple more workers are going to end up falling. That's 3, that's 4... these Banshees have done a fabulous job here. 16 workers killed total. I'm not sure if all of those were Banshees, but I do believe that is the case. herO is going to spot this double drop moving out. Well, he's going to do more than spot it. There's some potential for killing this. 1 feedback, okay. Kills 1 medevac that was fully loaded. Still has this aggressive gateway as well. That's going to allow him to quickly warp in. And what does ByuN really have left at home? Yes, he has superior SCV numbers. Yes, his upgrades are being quicker. Yes, once his Ghost Academy finishes up, he's going to be up in tech as well. But none of that is the case right now. Right now, the matter of fact, we have a situation in which there are almost no units here for ByuN. And there's a massive army for herO. I don't think herO can attack into this position. This seems like well, pretty much a freaking fortress at this point. But taking a third here for ByuN, that should definitely be difficult. There's 4 mines, there's a bunker, there's 2, actually there's 6 mines. Storm drop in towards the natural. I do like that play. I think that's a very good play. Trying to get some damage on your opponent's eco while you're so far ahead in your eco. That is usually quite smart. If you can't kill your opponent, that is. He's really using his massive army advantage as well, saying, hey, I'm just going to stand there. I'm going to deny your eco. And at the same time, I'm dealing damage to your eco. So, with that storm drop. And he just went up to 60 workers himself, is getting his fort base. Does need to be careful. Once ghosts come out, there is a bit of a power spike here for ByuN. ByuN also sending out an 8 Marine drop. I've seen this deal some serious damage before in the past. herO's going to send it. Just as the ghost arrived. This is an interesting call here. I wonder if that's going to work out. There's still 2 storms remaining, so perhaps it did end up working out. 8 Marines are going to unload though. When's the next warp in? This is so important right now. When is that next warp in? 2 Zealots get warped in, but where? I think back over here, and at the same time herO continues pushing in. It's gonna start losing a lot of workers. ByuN also starts losing a bunch of workers, so we're in this semi-base trade scenario here, but herO didn't need this at all. Still probably going to be fine as he's taking out his opponent's third base. He's surviving. He's losing 14 workers on his own side of the map, but killed so many on ByuN's side. I do believe this is going to be okay, but this seems like such a crazy risk to take. If you're basically going to be up 2 mining bases, you're tacking into your +1 upgrade. Like, there's only good things coming for herO, and herO had nothing defensively against that drop, but still up 26 workers or so. There are a couple of ghosts out, and this is almost feeling scary. Oh, nah, actually. No, this feels pretty scary, actually. Not almost. There are only 6 gateways still. That's such a low amount of gates as well. It's kind of odd. herO once again going for an attack. He's even in upgrades, but he's fighting against a 5 EMP army. If he gets caught out of position here, like he just killed the third base. You're up 2 bases, mate. You don't have to be on the map here. Just opening up yourself to terrible, terrible things here. Perhaps a base trade is going to be the way, as ByuN seems somewhat prepared for that. Well, you can lift the raise the depots. Oh, did not raise the depots. That's painful. Tries to pull away with all of his SCVs. At the same time, we have herO running away with a lot of his probes. Can already build a new nexus as well. This command center is going to end up falling, and I do believe that ByuN might actually be in some trouble anyway. 63 army supply to 68. I say that, but basically what ByuN did here is that rather than having a fight in which herO can still reinforce, right? If herO holds this position with a super battery for a bit, maybe he can get 2-3 more warp ins. That's not going to be the case here. These are the fighting armies. There's a lot of heal in here. We have the ability to build another CC. Dark Shrine gets taken out. I hope there are no DTs on the map. Those could really ruin the party a little bit. This command center is going to get taken out, but none of that truly matters at this point, because it's all going to come down to just a single fight. We're not going to see a straight up base trade anyway. Like, it's not going to be, well, we're seeing a base trade. We're just not seeing an elimination race where both players will lose all of their buildings, because both players have enough money to build a CC. We have a bunch of barracks floating. I would love for our barracks to just go into the dead space as well, just as like a kind of an insurance policy. I think that's a good thing to do generally. 69 army supply for herO, 63 for ByuN. I'm going to swap the names around because, well, they've traded bases. Not entirely. We'll keep the names like this. No, actually, they've traded bases. We switch the names around. When they trade bases, we switch the names around. So herO now on the bottom side of the screen, ByuN on the top. Yeah, barracks will survive, which is good. This base is going to fall. That was the 4th. It's not the end of the world. I think if you're herO here, what you're hoping is to get a couple of batteries out, 2-3 batteries, and 1 super battery can definitely make a major difference. Pre-split your Templar, but there are more ghosts than there are Templar. Every single ghost has 2 EMPs. Medevacs are fairly healthy. Oh, this prism flying around. There are 2 more. I did not know that. I did not know that at all. And what is herO doing? What? What a huge blunder. And that blunder is twofold. Loses 2 Templar, but it also means that this Prism is not going to be home here to help picking up his Templar in this location. Feedback, no. Storm, maybe? What can we get? There's no sentry here. Huge EMP is connecting with all of that army. Multiple huge EMPs. There is no scan to see where this is coming from. Prism had to be recalled. This is a winning fight for ByuN, I think. 52 army supply. He does still have the ghost remaining. He wins. He absolutely destroys. What a blunder out of herO multiple times in this game. Completely giving this one away for free. I do not understand what he did here. ByuN also doesn't, but he's happy with it. Takes game number 1 in this best. This is the type of game where you look back as herO and you spot all your mistakes. You're like, Jesus. Like, this is 1-0 for herO, you know? The scoreboard says 1-0 for ByuN, but herO knows that that was a win. ByuN knows that that was a loss for him. That was not okay. It really wasn't. Ooh, herO tried to go for the barracks block. This is one of these new school moves that I don't quite understand yet. I I feel like a 75-year-old in the 60s when the Beatles were getting big. And this ain't real music. It's like I feel the same about this probe scout. It's like, this ain't a real build. Like, what is this? This is super expensive. Like, people don't realize it. It's like, well, a fast scout and you can still harass your opponent earlier, so surely that's worth it. But whenever I have done these calculations in the past, if you scout very early, that stuff is freaking expensive and it's really, really bad for your eco. Like, insanely bad. And we can give the example once the Nexus goes down now. So this is a relatively high gas count, honestly. 137 is not a bad timing of the Nexus. I'm gonna be real with you. Core, yeah, I'm kind of okay with that. What time does the core finish up here? 18 seconds, 16 seconds. Okay, that's actually fairly late. Oh, I said nothing. Okay, 50. So usually the core finishes up at 159, 158 to 2. This is the timing that you want. Now this core is gonna finish up about 3 seconds later. It finished at 203. So by having that probe scout this early, I'm not sure if he just will slow with the core or slow with the gate, but it wouldn't surprise me if it forces you to delay the core by about 2 or 3 seconds. It's going to be similar on the Nexus timing then. So yeah, that is, I mean, it's not a huge deal, but still it's 3 seconds. And there's no way he delayed his opponent 3 seconds economically. He might have delayed the barracks by 2 or 3 seconds, but not the entire eco. Oh, what are we playing here, ByuN? Reactor into 3 racks? CC on the high ground? Oh, this is a build order again, isn't it? Oh, this is definitely a build order. Three racks is one of those builds that I think whenever you ask a Protoss player, they always struggle with it. And when you ask a Terran player, they will tell you that's the worst build in the world. But there's no Protoss player that likes playing against it. But then sometimes you play against it and it feels super weak. It's like, it's so dependent on like super little factors, you know, like the timing that you scouted, the build that you were planning on doing, where your army is positioned. Sometimes with like most blink builds are fine against like 3-4 gate blinks, always going to be okay majority of the time. Sometimes with like a 2 gate blink build, you're not going to be fine, but generally as the barracks player, the triple barracks player, you want to fight something like Phoenix into second gate into a third base. Like that's the freaking dream scenario. It really is the dream scenario. What's also great is if the Protoss player decides to just keep the Phoenixes in the main base, waiting for a drop that never arrives. I love that stuff. He's like, oh, I can't wait to get that medevac drop with the mines in it. That's going to be one hell of a fight. So it makes some sense as well. I mean, I like doing this too every now and again. It's just saving up your Phoenix. It's a good move. Well, it's a good move until it isn't. And I think it might just not be a good move here. I actually think it might not be a good move. Combat shield coming out, stim coming out. Here comes the triple Phoenix. As this probe does spot the... Well, I'm not sure if it spotted the move out. It spotted a decent count of Marines. herO desperately will need to throw down something here to deal with it. His supply block as well. This is a painful supply block. Throws down a second gateway. Another battery coming in here. Immortal chrono boosted. I think if well, he has hardly any healers. This is a weird version again. Oh wait, never mind. These were the real Marines. I'm like, man, where's why do you have 6 Marines or 7 Marines in this army? This seems terrible. The rest were just slacking behind a little bit. Immortal is going to pop, but it's only 3 units so far. 2 more batteries are coming in. I mean, if this is a straight stim and he just goes in, isn't this fairly good here? What's he going for? He changed his target fire like 4 times during this fight. Phoenix is now coming back home. There's still a battery on the far right as well, so targeting down that pylon really did fairly little for him. There's a battery in the main as well. Man, herO was freaking ready for this run by. He really was. I was like, man, I'm too late. He's gonna get into my main. I'm gonna have something ready. There, follow this up with a Robo Bay, of course. Starport starts now. This is fairly late, even for this build. Double turrets coming in. Bunker on the way. This was not a good trade for ByuN, obviously. He lost practically everything, and he killed fairly little. And everything that he did kill were just units. He killed 2 workers. Like, it's not enough. It really is not enough. You need to be trading out, like, about even with a 3-Rex most of the time is kind of what you want. Because then what you do is you delay the third base, and if you trade out even, that is usually good for Terran. Terran most of the time has a significantly slower third base than Protoss. So if that's not the case, then yeah, that's really nice. You can just go into your follow-up medevac pressure. Now, another issue that people often have when playing 3-Rex is that it's super marine-centric. So if you don't find a good opportunity to trade out your marines early on in an efficient way, Colossi are going to absolutely destroy that army, right? Because you're just... like, so far 18 marines and 2 marauders have gone down. Right, you would be fighting an army with freaking 31 marines. And that's great DPS. Like, I know that's great DPS, but it's also very vulnerable to splash. So the moment your opponent gets even just a single Colossus out, your next push is, you know, it's just not so strong. It's not so powerful. Something you always need to keep in mind. So we have practically pure Marauder production at this point out of these 2 barracks with the tech labs on it. If ByuN had a 3rd tech lab, he'd probably be producing Marauders from here as well. See, he doesn't really need too many Marines right now. He really needs to grow the Marauder counts. Following this up with tanks. So, probably wants to play somewhat safe, somewhat secure. 3rd in the main base is definitely helping out. Is there 2 turrets? Yeah, there's one at the production and there's one over here. I do like that production turret. That's cool. Kind of like a safe space for these Marines and Marauders to join up with the main army. This group of units is trying to move out on the map. But guess who already is on the map? Indeed, that is herO. Similar scenario, honestly, to last game, where herO is going to contain his opponent on 2 bases while he's on 3. Or at least that seems to me what herO is trying. Oh, beautiful force fields. Great little play snipes. 1 medevac. Tried to go for a second one, but cleared a crap ton of bio here. Now, this was just a good move. This was just a good move. Look, you don't expect someone to be here down the ramp yet as a Terran player. You don't expect herO to be down there at all. Templar Archives now on the way, going up to 6 gases as well. CC is done and is trying to get into the position. In my mind, if I'm herO here. Okay, I'm like, wow, my hands are fast. Wow. Whenever I want to click something, it works. Wow, I'm so smart. But also, I would wait for my prism if I were a herO right here. I would wait for my prism. I'd wait for my +1. I wait for my gateways to finish. I'll get 2 Archons and then I go. herO says, you know what's also fun, Harstem, is while you're in the middle of your terrible monologue, I'll go and kill my opponent. That sounds like... actually, herO is completely making my point here. This was not a great fight. This really was... he should have literally just waited. Oh my god. He's warping in Stalkers now, which is confusing. His opponent has tanks. Stalkers are not great against tanks. Still believe that this should probably be enough, but I much would have preferred having some Archons here for extra tanking power, for extra damage output as well. Once again, ByuN is going to kind of hold, but also not really. We're still just a single Archon warping away from winning the game here. There are no ghosts out. That is really the deciding factor. If there's Archons and there are no ghosts, you know what that is? That's a problem. That is a problem for Terran. It really is. +2 is on the way here for herO. I'd love to see a 4th base behind this at some point, but he is going to put the pedal to the metal here and go in. And with these Archons, I do believe that this fight should be, well, I don't want to say completely winning, but it should be slightly better than the previous ones. Yep, here we go. Tanks get completely cleared. He is going to end up losing all of his Colossi, though. Has 0 remaining at the moment, but I don't even really think it matters because he managed to break this 3rd position. There we go. He's building a fort behind it. I think... so if you're herO here, you're starting to think to yourself, okay, how could I still lose this game? And a quick way to lose this game is by attacking into your 2-base opponent as their ghost pop out. So you probably, before you fight, you probably want to have some type of robo units, whether that's going to be like a single Colossus or maybe 2 Disruptors. I think 1 Disruptor is a bit thin. Even think 2 Disruptors would be a bit thin. I actually much prefer going the Colossus route here. Gaining a little bit of map control or a little bit of map vision on the top side might be important, but I do like that herO wants to remain somewhat aggressive in this particular situation. because you don't want your opponent to go for another kind of base trade scenario, you know, get a single good drop in and then make it difficult. No, I think you actually want to kind of continue pushing, but you really need to wait for your Colossus, because otherwise 2-3 EMPs, you know, if the ghosts pop out in time, you could get unlucky and you could be facing a similar scenario as last game where yes, you have better eco, yes, you have better tech, yes, you have better upgrades, but your opponent just, you know, has a better army right in that moment and goes and kills you. Now, with the single Colossus, I think this type of fight will be completely viable here for herO, honestly. Without the Colossus, I'd say just wait a bit. But the moment you have a single Colossus, all of the Marines in the army cannot just stand there and fight, which means that the Zealots become significantly better as well. So here comes a couple of EMP, 1, 2, 3. But I do believe that this is going to be it. Disruptor is not going to get the hit on the Bioforce, but the Bioforce is completely useless. These Archons are just a little bit too strong. Colossus in the back with some big damage here as well. Marauder tries to go in for a snipe, does not quite get it. As Zealots in the natural also took out a bunch of workers. And this game is completely over. ByuN still staying in. Can we get a pickup? No, we can't get a pickup. Of course we can get a pickup. herO with some sloppy play, but it absolutely does not matter because he's so far ahead. And it's impossible for him to lose this map. At least, yeah, impossible. GG. And the series is all tied up here with a 1-1 score. Game number 3 will be played here on Royal Blood. Ooh. Oh, wow. Huh. Reactor first. Very uncommon build order here. Very uncommon build order. You hardly ever see that, but against a no scout, I don't particularly mind it. Against the Zealot first, I think this is the best case scenario that you can have. I don't think there's anything better than Reactor first against a Zealot like this. Because you have so, well, maybe a Reaper, and if you find the Zealot, that is pretty huge. But this is also pretty freaking huge, because you're gonna have basically 4 Marines. You're like 9 seconds away from having 4 Marines, okay? That's the reality of things. You start with 2, herO looks this like, oh, come on, mate, really? How lucky are you, like build order-wise? You're gonna have 4 Marines against the Zealot plus Adept attack, which is coming in now. Well, right about now. Put an SCV for it. I'm not sure if that's necessary, but I like it. It's just making sure that you're safe. You know, I think that's good. Generally, it's a good thing. Rather be safe than sorry most of the time here. We don't really have the attention to build a bunker. Okay, there we go. Orbital also goes down. The follow-up is going to be mine starport. On the side of herO, we have Stargate, an Oracle, and probably a dead Adept here. No? Yep, there we go. Dead Adept. Now, the funny thing with Oracle versus Mine is that theoretically, this is good for the Oracle. I think. Like, if you look at it, if the Oracle doesn't die, usually this is a good opener. However, if the Oracle does die, this opener freaking falls apart. And especially because there's no Phoenix follow-up. Because you'll probably be forced to build a single Phoenix still then. Oh, which is super frustrating. Let's take a look where this bad boy is going. First person view of herO. Okay, cleared that mineral line real quick. Oh, needs to be so careful. He used the revelation. He was so afraid. He's like, I'm not dying today. I don't want to go down yet. I don't want to die. Oh, almost gets hit there by a mine. Was really close. Gets a gold. Gets a gold base. Yeah. Now that I like. That I definitely like. Oh, that's a tight build order here, my friends. That's a tight build order. Ooh, that's sweet. Oh, whoa. That is so sweet. I'm a fan of this. Most definitely. Now, how is he going to play this out? So he'll want to exploding gateways, have probably a very high mineral income. One of the issues I often have with builds like this is that if the Terran does nothing, it can get pretty difficult for the TOS if they don't build forges in time. And because you have that gold base, that feels like such an asset, but also a very kind of vulnerable asset. you often want to skip forges for as long as possible. But you also can skip them for too long. The ideal scenario here for herO is that he gets attacked basically at a standard timing. That would be freaking brilliant for herO. You know, he'd be so happy with it. Oh, no, come on. No. Oh, that's not a great hit, actually. Only gets 2. I thought he might try to retarget and wait, but he wasn't quite close enough. And this is still frustrating because you're missing a lot of mining time, first of all, and also you're losing 2 probes. There was no recall on probes here either, so all of these bad boys are walking. This is actually significant mining time loss. I'm almost starting to believe that a first push might be workable here. The gateway count isn't high enough either yet. Like, we're working off of 3 gateways right now. It's gonna blink in. It's gonna kill Cyclone, Marauder. If he can get Stim, that would be game, I think. I think if he gets Stim, it's game. Stim is game, Stim is game, Stim is game. No combat shield has started yet. What is ByuN doing, actually? That is somewhat surprising. Oop, auto turret comes in. Stalkers here in the natural. 8 workers have gone down. A couple against this mine, I guess. And these bad boys are in a weird position. We'll need to blink out. If Stim was done at this point, he would have been in some serious crap. 12 workers falling. 7 on this Raven. This Raven is an absolute baller over here. Knows what he wants. And wants what he knows. Exactly like that. So yeah, this gold base hasn't exactly paid off yet. We now see a Phoenix on the way to go deal with that Raven. The Raven's already somewhere else, though. It's going to go in towards your main base soon, buddy. Don't you worry about that. There's no third base yet here for ByuN. He's starting it now. What he does have, though, is a very large bio count. And he's going to be fighting against an army that consists of Stalkers. Stalkers and half a Zealot, maybe. That's it. Do we even have charge? Yeah, there is charge. There's only 2 Zealots. 16 Stalkers. That is not brilliant. Fourth base being taken on the gold, obviously. And this makes a lot of sense. The reason why this makes sense is because if you're playing with 1 gold, you already need to have map control the entire time. And if you have map control the entire time, you might as well take the other gold. It's like, if you're losing map control, most likely you're losing the game. And whether you have 1 gold or 2 gold doesn't actually matter so much. 13 workers have gone down once more. This Raven had something to do with it, and I feel like maybe a mine had something to do with it as well. I'm not quite sure where that happened, but I feel like 20 workers have been killed. 27 workers have been killed in an 8-minute game. As ByuN, still only barely ahead. That's the power of the gold, I guess. Really is the power of the gold. With that second gold coming in. And with +1. If herO can survive for another minute and a half, and he can go up to like 11, 12 gateways, it might be good. The problem is that the mine count is so freaking high. Look at this. That's 6 mines. herO has nothing that can deal with mines. Legitimately nothing. There's no Colossus, no Disruptors. It needs to be a base trade. It simply needs... It can only be a base trade at this point. Okay, here come the Zealots. Look at this. It's gonna freaking disappear. Oh, Oracle almost tried dragging there. Did not quite work out. This base is under some heavy fire. Mines will end up falling, but every single unit that herO has is also in the process of dying right now. These units are fairly low. They're pretty overstimmed here. As herO survives, okay, is going to need more gateways, is going to need to continue his upgrades, but clearing that mine count was actually freaking huge. Third base has finished up here for ByuN, who's also adding an armory over a Ghost Academy. That might be considered a mistake. Ooh, this tank could be in some trouble here. This tank might just end up dying. That would be nice. Doesn't quite die. Stays alive at -2 HP. Oh, that's so frustrating here for herO. Oh, he's gonna go armory because he wants to do the super mine drops, I guess. That would be super powerful against the gold base. Oh, I kind of do like that then. Oh no, I don't mind that at all. No, I do like that. Wait, hero's trying to attack here? I mean, there's just no way you're attacking into this and you're walking away with your army, buddy. Like, there's no way. You just can't attack into this. That's not possible. This is not possible. Please don't do it. Don't. There's no point. Come on. Go back home. Pretend that you want to do it, but don't do it. Fighting away from mines might be the best types of trades that herO could possibly get. He's going to sacrifice into the mines. I don't understand that. These mines weren't in the fight. Don't involve them into it. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, 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 no. Yeah, herO's in a world of trouble. Has great mineral income, but does not have the gateways to support it. Is now throwing down a robotics facility, a dark shrine, 2 more gates. Armor finishes up, but has no answer to the mines. Has no answer to the ghost. Has no answer to anything really that matters in this game. He's down 60 supply as well. Now, the sad part for herO here, honestly, is that he has won this series already, okay? He absolutely has won this series. It was 2-0 if he hadn't thrown away the first game. But he did throw away the first game, and thus now he's on the brink of defeat in this best of 3. And that's not looking so great. Mine count continues to grow. This is one of those things you can do as a Terran, by the way. You just continuously grow your mine count until disruptors or colossus come out. Then you probably want to quit that. So that's a bad habit. Hey, this base is toast. This base is freaking toast. Defensively here, what are we looking at? Means 1 tank, 2 mines. It's not going to be enough, that's for sure. Oof. Portion of the army does get sent back home, as this gold base is going to end up falling. Goes defensively, pop out at the perfect moment. And half of the army is good enough for ByuN to stop this. The other half is good enough to go across the map and perhaps go for a bit more. He smells blood in the water. And he's freaking unleashed. I think he just cleared one of his own marauders or marines there. Not entirely sure why, but it did end up happening. Pylon goes down. Recall is available, but you can't recall away or you'll lose your gold. You also can't let this go to waste, because then you don't have anything left. I think we're now in a situation where every decision out of herO is the incorrect one. Well, there's probably a correct decision, but none of them will be winning. Absolutely none of them will be winning, as this game has completely ended. ByuN making it happen here. Brilliant harassment in this game. How many workers did he kill? Actually, 76 workers in a 13-minute game. The golds definitely did not end up paying off. And that, my dear friends, is going to be it for me today. Thanks all so much for watching. I hope you did enjoy it. If you did, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see all of you next time for a new video. Adios.